Cubit crashing into that double team right behind it, but there's no immediate outlet, so he does snap it up to Cubit. Koutmusle and Mogilski put the double team on, and then it's a big hammer across the field and finds Justin Wynn, and then working in the end zone against Vukovic. Jimmy Toll working now against the dump defender. Boy, Connor Newell had a tough time getting open, and Max Devine has to track it down. Now Newell catches it coming across the field, and he's got a deep target, and Anson Repperman. Repperman with Walsh with him, but nobody can get close to him as Anson Repperman scores on a huck from Connor Newell. So Connor Newell really zip back to Sjogren, across the field to Walsh, now to Cubit, and it looked like it might get beyond him. Montero looked like he might have a shot. He did not. Cubit throws a flat hammer on the money, finding his target for a 3-1 Mechanix lead with about 8 minutes.
Hard around, Sparky, hard around, Sparky.
Goes by the wayside, sent back to the big man Anthony. Hurt himself a little bit in warm-up, seems okay now. He has a lot of company, and it's sent back to Cubit, who has to run out the back. And then he jacks it. He says, enough of this. Chris Graber is a guy who can jump. Can he jump up and get this block? He doesn't. Justin Wynn times it better. He's got Sjogren downfield, as does Walsh now. Walsh airs it out. It's a backhand. The only question is, can Sjogren catch up to it? And he does. And so, handling the pressure, overcoming a turnover, the offense is fully loaded, right? Without Ian Engler and without Thomas Edmonds, they're missing some of their big guns. McSherry has it, and he has Colicchio open, but instead he puts up Shepard. Repperman's down there too. Wong is there. Oh my goodness! Max Shepard just says forget about it. That looked like it was going to be a contest. It wasn't. Shepard elevates, perfectly timed, high points the disc, and he leaves him. Even on the goal line, they're not afraid to throw this double team. Cubit has it now. Zaccardi settling in on the mark, then he rolls with it, and Graber gets a run through. Focused more on the defender in front of him than the defender who was poaching it from behind him, and that's that switching defense of the Thunderbirds. Koutmusle with it now. He has Alan Gruntz. Gruntz had a possibility. Vukovic could have gone deep. He's held up instead, and Graber cutting right up the middle. Mogilski deep, and Graber pulls the trigger on it. Wynn and Mogilski, and Mogilski goes up strong with that left hand. The corn-fed mule goes over Justin Wynn, and the score is tied. Nicely done. And another break, 2 breaks in a row. Steve Mogilski. And then the energy changes again. Walsh says, you guys can't triple team me. Throws a hammer across the field. Ipong Wang gets underneath it. Floats one into the end zone. Does Repperman have time to get there to make a difference? He doesn't. And the man they call Dad, cutting up the gut, is Vukovic. And Vukovic has Graber breaking deep. He doesn't wait. Meanwhile, with him is Gaither and Graber, and getting inside position is Gaither. Innes feathers it, pulled down this time by Cubit, looks to throw that hammer, thinks better of it, finds Ellis. Evans looking, sends it to Cubit, and then goes up the line. And this one's jacked in the middle of the field, and Repperman throws up a hand, but it's futile. And we'll see, the Thunderbirds are probably going to have to pass back, and you see Shepard kind of getting in position to throw through it right away off the top of the stack. And he just throws a blind scooper to Davis, who picks it up off of the shoe tops for the Thunderbirds to pull within 2. Got Ramsey over there, but decides not to send it to him. He continues to work off the top of the stack. Shepard guarded by Wynn. Mogilski goes up the line, and he sends one over to the back of the end zone, and Graber pulls it down. So some hair-raising moments there, but the Thunderbirds ultimately do what they want to do. They apply the double team, and the thrower has to then do some computations in 7 seconds that are uncomfortable, and they put him under a lot of pressure. Pounding Walsh, and you're seeing more scoopers in this game than you'll see in most games. And here it goes. This one sent across the field. Can Colicchio get there? He does get there, and Anthony cannot follow it up. Fades out. He's got to choose between Havey and Cubit. Over the top is Cubit. Nobody there to pull it down. Cubit does. He's got a deep man. Colicchio puts on the Jets trying to catch up, but there's no hope of it. And the Sjogren pulls it down. Here comes Pete Zaccardi, looking downfield. Connor Newell has to run and catch up with it. He does. He lets one go. Colicchio's the one with the best shot at it. Nobody else really does have one. Second time Connor Newell has aired it out, and CJ Colicchio this time pulls it down. Hopefully can make a move and close up the distance and maybe get that third spot. Charlie Vukovic going up, catches a pass from Walsh that goes over its intended target, and now they've got he sends one across the field to Max Shepard, and Shepard will catch it easily. So just like that, the Thunderbirds come out. And Walsh, he's got Cubit right in the middle. Cubit says, why not? I'm sorry, that was Havey. And this one goes behind him, and again, just a lot of passes and a mistake. Graber. Max Shepard just realized it's up there. Anthony with him, along with Kenneth. And Max Shepard, of course, comes down with it and calls timeout on the goal line. He knew he didn't have a lot of company and he had two defenders. But Max Shepard, if you watch him, you were expecting it. Anthony's a big guy. Kenneth's got legs he can jump with. You see here, Graber gets it back after that defense. Doesn't wait a second, sends it skyward. Both these guys are taller, but Max had inside position. How high can he jump? As high as he needs to. From Cubit, sent back into the middle of the field. Devine on the mark. And here comes the hammer over the top. Will Selleck have time to get there? He doesn't. That Joe Cubit hammer, tough to stop. Who recovers his feet in time to come over and cover Connor Newell. Now Shepard. Anybody else is in a tough spot here. He's in the power position, and Colicchio has his hands up, says, don't you like me against Anthony? He says, yes, I do. Throws the hammer on the goal line, and then Shepard, uncovered, rushes in. As I said, for almost anybody else, that's a difficult. Minute left. Bustamante cycles back. There's a double team. It finds its way to Thompson. He bobbles it, gathers it in, and he pulls the trigger on one. Can Montero catch up to it? They talked about his speed. He bids. He lands in. It's a goal. Drew Thompson to Matt Montero for what has got to be one of the highlights of the season. He caught that one. He was bobbling it. Didn't cause him to be cautious. Instead, in bounds, you have to like Max Shepard in that matchup. He finds Clint McSherry on a strike cut, sends it to Colicchio. Colicchio yanks it. Max Shepard's just got to run underneath it and hope it stays in bounds. It looks like it will. He does catch it, takes a leap, short falls a yard short. He's got Zaccardi working against Sjogren. He needs some help, and he's got Clint McSherry. Instead, he sends it all the way across the field to Newell. Ellis in pursuit, but it's a perfect throw and a very nice catch by Connor Newell, and the Thunderbirds increase their lead to 3. Cubit flanking is the other handler. Kenneth downfield. Sjogren catches one and then cut up the gut. Havey, the disc now, sends one a backhand huck, and it's just a matter of whether Kenneth can catch up to it, and he does. Wow. Jack Havey showing a lot of faith in Jay Kenneth, and he didn't let him down. He put the Jets on and laid it out there. Terrific underneath it. But Newell, I think, struggling a little bit, but not struggling with those inside throws. He's been really effective on those. This one, he floats in front of McSherry. He's got a power position, and he's got a receiver going deep. It's Toll versus Cubit, but Toll separates himself from Cubit, and that was foreordained the moment that Connor Newell found Clint McSherry cutting out of the backfield. Thomas Edmonds behind him. He's got plenty of room. Zaccardi has it. Colicchio over the middle. Toll in front of him. No rush for the Thunderbirds. But they certainly didn't want to do that. Chris Ellis with a big layout block. His own sideline set up against the and Thompson and Walsh playing very physical with each other. So Havey gets it. Reed Duncan on Anthony, and this one sent into the end zone, and Wynn goes up and gets it. So nothing doing in front of the thrower. So instead he throws the inside break and just a bit. Now Havey's got it. He's got 7 seconds left. Wynn's got it in the middle of the field. He's got room, and he puts one up into the corner. Devine and Graber will be there against Anthony and Kenneth. And looks like one of them got a piece of it. And so the Thunderbirds, after a game that had its scary moments, close it out. 22-19. The streak continues. And the Thunderbirds, And we've got hype on the field with Kyle Archer.